Thank you all for being here. I'm Assemblyman Jeffrey Dinowitz. I'm joined by Borough President Vanessa Gibson, by Council Member Eric Dinowitz, by leading members of local clergy and some of our neighbors. We're here today because once again, our community has been defaced by racist graffiti, and we've seen in recent weeks graffiti like that, anti-Semitic graffiti in this neighborhood, and that's not something any of us will allow to stand. We're right here at Seton Park, which is one of the most beautiful parks and playgrounds in the entire city, and we're at the Bruce Silverman ball fields here, and the latest incident happened at the opposite end of this field. And just so you know, this field is named after a relatively young man who died a few years ago. He was a leader of the soccer teams in our community. He was a father, he was a husband, and he was just a great community person. He lived right here in the Whitehall across the street. His field is named after him. These incidents are not typical and don't represent our community or any community. We've seen incidents such as these taking place all over the city. Thankfully, none of these incidents are violent incidents, but what's happened recently, anti-Semitic attacks, physical attacks, anti-Asian attacks, racist attacks and racist incidents, this has been increasing in our city, and the people of our community, and I think people of all goodwill throughout the city, strongly oppose that, and we're here to denounce it and make it clear that we as a community stand against that. We stand against that. We'll never let it go by without denouncing it, and we stand united. Our community is a united community, and 99.999% of the people think that way. Whoever committed these offenses, and we don't know who they are, we don't know whether they were from the neighborhood or not, we don't know whether they were kids, stupid kids or not, we just don't know yet. I know that the 50th Precinct is doing everything that it can to try to find out who committed these violations and take appropriate action. There are things that I believe we need to do. We need to have better education in our schools in terms of understanding every culture of the 200 plus cultures that are in the city. Kids have to understand all that. And I think our schools are doing a good job, but we have to do a better job. I would like to see more of a police presence. I'm not among those people who think we should abolish the police. Nope. And maybe we even need to put cameras in the area. I don't know. But the point is, this could happen anywhere. The fact that it happened right here at Seton Park this past few days and across the way at the PS24 playground within feet of each other suggests to me, and I didn't actually see the graffiti, suggests to me that maybe it was the same people. That's what the 5-0 is investigating. But we as a group are one. We speak with one voice on behalf of our communities, and I wanted to invite some of the leaders here to say a few words. And the first person I want to call up is our new and wonderful Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson.
Thank you. Thank you, Assemblymember Jeff Dinowitz and Councilmember Eric Dinowitz and all of our clergy and faith leaders who are joined together here today. I am Vanessa L. Gibson, the Bronx Borough President, and I am standing here in solidarity, in unison with one voice, to denounce the recent acts of hate that have been spewed here in the Northwest Bronx, at the local school, as well as here in Seton Park. And we understand and we know that we live in a world that should provide acceptance and tolerance for every New Yorker. We come from all cultures, all nationalities, all ethnicities, and all different backgrounds. And when we see the types of anti-Black graffiti that was displayed here at the Bruce Silverman Athletic Field, where we see what has been spewed here, it just sends a horrible message. And that is not what we are about here in Bronx County and in this city and in this state. We are a beautiful borough of opportunity, of hope for so many of our immigrant families and people that come here from all over just to achieve the American dream. And we will never accept violence, we will never accept hatred and discrimination against any group of people. And we've seen the wave of violence in this city against the Jewish community, against the AAPI community, our Asian American brothers and sisters, and certainly our African American and Latino brothers and sisters. And how insulting during February, which is the celebration of Black History Month, that we have seen this anti-Black graffiti depicted here in this athletic field. There is no room for hate. There is no room for discrimination in our city and in our borough. And anytime we see it, we will continue to stand against it and denounce it. And we know the only way that we can drown out hate and intolerance is through acceptance and love. That is through education. That is through making sure that we continue to provide safe spaces as we do. Our parks are safe spaces. We want to make sure that they are places of safety and recreation for our children as well as all of our families. How do you explain this to your children when they see these types of epithets that are displayed in their local park or in their local school? It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable here in the Northwest Bronx, and it's not acceptable anywhere across our city. And so we are going to be working with our partners in the NYPD. We're thankful to the 5-0 precinct for their response, and certainly many of our organizations like FedCap and Wildcat, who always provide graffiti removal and really providing the cleanup that are necessary here in our borough. And so I'm really thankful for my colleagues in government and really all of our faith leaders. We have to teach our children that we may come from different places, but we are all united as one. And anytime when you see these types of anti-Black graffiti or anti-anything graffiti, we know that we have to stand against that. And to me, it's particularly insulting that this is happening during Black History Month, which is a time of celebration of the contributions of African Americans and Black Americans across this country. And so we want to send a message to everyone. We will not accept this. We will never accept it. We will continue to stand against it. And at any given time, if you or someone you know needs any assistance or any help, please let us know. We know that we have many New Yorkers that are facing a number of challenges around mental health and around just so much instability. And so we have to make sure that we are there providing the resources and the education so that our children and our families know what is accepted and what is not. And so I'm thankful to our Assembly member, Jeffrey Dinowitz, our Council member, Eric Dinowitz, as well as all of our distinguished leaders for always joining us in the good and the bad times. And we will continue to stand against any acts of hatred, any acts of violence, or any acts of discrimination that target certain communities here in our borough. Thank you so much.